Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. I'm going to conduct another video tutorial on microcontroller programming, and in this video tutorial I'm going to explain you about or going to introduce you about PICSimLab. This is a very good hardware emulator for microcontroller. This is the icon. Let me click on it. So this is how it looked like. Okay, so first of all, we come to the point. What is PICSimLab? PICSimLab means Programmable IC Simulator Laboratory, right? So basically, you can have various programmable board or development boards, and you can have also various different types of ICs or microcontroller ICs, right? For example, you can use PICSIM related hardware boards, SIM-AVR boards, or UC-SIM simulators, right? And remember that PICSIM also have integration with MPLAB/Arduino IDE for programming boards microcontrollers, right? So if you are going to emulate the hardware of, let's say, Arduino, you can just click over here in Arduino in boards, and then you can have Arduino Uno. See, now this environment is changed to Arduino Uno. If you want to go to PICGenius environment, there is an option of PICGenius. Click on it, PICGenius, and now this board has become what? PICGenius, right? So in board, in the menu bar, you have an option of board, and you click on any of the. For example, you can go to ESP32 DAV-Kit C, right? So you will see that it will convert into ESP32, right? And this is a very well-known microcontroller board or module in which you have ESP32 microcontroller, right? Like you can have also GP board available here, and this is basically the traditional PICSimLab traditional PIC family board. And second option that I want to talk about here is very important, which I really like about this software, is microcontroller option. You click in the menu bar, there is a third option called microcontroller. So if you click on microcontroller, you will see this board supports various number of microcontroller. And since I have chosen GB board, which is basically the conventional, or you can say that the traditional PIC board or PIC development board, so you can use 10, PIC 12, PIC 16, so conventional families I'm talking about right now, right? Let's say I'm going to go on simple breadboard. So this is how your breadboard look like, and this is very simple. And you see that in last some of the board which I have chosen, the microcontroller was not so visible, but here, since it is simply a board and it clearly states that what microcontroller you are right now using it. Right now you can see that it is PIC18F452. I can switch this to any of the other board. For example, I can switch it to 4550, and you see it is now switched. So whenever you change the board or change the microcontroller IC, you will see a flash and it will update as per your given new or updated microcontroller, right? Then there is an option of modules. This is this is something very exceptional one. Oscilloscope is available here for you, but what I'm interested here, or what I really like about it, is spare parts option. And in spare parts, you will have this plain window. This is very plain window, but it has a very wonderful importance here because it provides you wonderful options. For example, you can have DHT11 temperature humidity sensor. Remember, so you just change, you just choose it, and now you can actually connect the sensor to any of the pin of this microcontroller, right? I'm just putting it side by side so that it becomes easy to understand. So I can connect my DHT11 sensor with any of the pin of the microcontroller with this spare part option. And I can modify the things here. You can change the temperature. You see I'm changing my temperature here for my sensor, which is supposed to be sensed by that. This is the value I will set. For example, I am setting here 19.0. You can change the range, and that range will be sensed by that value will be sensed by the sensor, and it will go through this microcontroller, right? Similarly, you can change your humidity thing. Similarly, you have other sensors available, like you have DS1621 temperature I2C, which is a good one. Okay, let me delete the first one and let me move it over here. So this is DS1621 temperature sensor, and here your temperature range is quite high, from uh, 0 to -55 to 125, or even bigger one, right? So in spare parts, you can have various inputs. Furthermore, you can have keyboard, keypad, LDRs, potentiometers, push buttons, even switches as well, right? Similarly, in output, you can have 7-segment display. For example, this is your 7-segment display. I mean, you can actually, it contains 4 number of 7-segment display, but you can reduce it down. Similarly, you can go to, let's say, LEDs. So there are various LEDs. So that is how the PICSimLab emulates various hardwares, and you are not supposed to install any library. Everything is kind of available here. You just select whatever the spare part you need in this spare parts option, and then you can actually connect any of the pin of the microcontroller with that specific spare part. So that is why this PICSimLab, or the full name is Programmable IC Simulator Laboratory. I really like it because it's wonderful for performing and for verifying the simulation of various experiments. Okay, let me delete this stuff. So let's say I'm gonna use my favorite microcontroller, which I usually explain very many times in my YouTube channel. So let's say PIC18F452. So now this IC is now PIC18F452, and now let's say I'm using simple switch, and next thing I need LED. So now LED and switches are here. You see there are 8 switches and 8 LEDs are available to connect with this microcontroller. Usually we know that the pins of microcontroller are basically blocked or grouped as called ports. So, and every port has kind of 8 bits, or maybe ranging from 6 to 8 bits. So that is why a block of switch is available. Maybe you are supposed to connect all the pins of port to this switch, but you can use single pin as well. So if I want to connect this very first switch with, let's say, any pin of RC0, maybe of this microcontroller, so what I will do, I will just connect, I will just right click on it, and it says properties. Click on properties and you will see this window will appear, and this says pin 1, which means the switch 1, because this is the switch module. So I wanted to connect it with RC0, so here is my RC0 pin, and just click on OK. So I hope you can see that it is clearly written that RC0 is now connected with switch, right? And rest of the switches are status is basically NC. NC means not connected. Similarly, if you, let me move it a bit higher. If you are observing the LED status, all of them are NC. NC means not connected. So let's say RC0 is connected to switch, right? And LED is connected to RC1. So I'm going to go click on properties, and a window will appear. So very first LED, I want to connect it with RC1. So you can see that this LED is now connected with RC1. Furthermore, right now you can see there all these LEDs are red. I mean, I can go and change the color. See, the first LED, I can make it green. So if I make it green and okay, now you see this LED is basically green. So that's how you actually connect any spare part or any input sensors or output sensors or output devices to any microcontroller pin. Uh, so I hope you understand it. Let's go to the MPLAB environment. I've already written down the code. This is my code. I will not be explaining any code here because I have made many tutorials on assembly language programming of PIC18F microcontroller. So for that application in which a switch is connected to RC0 and LED is connected to RC1, this code is written down. So I will just go and compile it. And since it is succeeded, so this project name is PICSim test 1 because this is my test program for this PICSim lab software. Uh, so on the back end, there is a hex file is already generated now. So I will just use that hex file in that board. So let's come back to the PICSimLab environment. Since I've already explained you the code is already built and successfully run, so hex file is available. So the question is how one will load hex file into this software. So for this purpose, click on file and this says load hex file, right? So click on load. So this is the directory in which I have saved the hex file. So pixim test1.hex. It says it is a hex file. I just open it. That means now it is loaded. Just to make sure if everything is perfect, just debug it one time. So you will see it is already debugged. Okay, one more thing that I need to explain before I run this simulation. See, this is clock in megahertz, so you can use any of the crystal oscillator. For this application, it doesn't matter whether I use 4, 10, 6, 32. So let's say I'm going to use 8 megahertz and I will just debug it again. And now this code should work, right? So if I turn on this switch, this LED should glow. Let's see. Yeah, you can see that. I've turned on this switch. You see this switch status is changed as compared to this these other switches, and this LED is now turned on, right? For example, if I turn it off, it is again off. So that's how you can verify any of your code or any of the assembly language code which you have written for any microcontroller. I mean, it's not only assembly code. If you have written any microcontroller application, you can verify those things in hardwares using this hardware emulator. Its name is PICSimLab. So I hope this video tutorial was useful. I've tried to answer every basic question which one may ask when one is being introduced with this software. So if you have any query, you can put up your questions in comment section. Thank you so much for listening.